Greetings on the eve of the September harvest moon. This is Elizabeth Shermer with an intuitive reading for the lunar grids of light on Wednesday, September 18th. And today's reading is in anticipation of tomorrow's harvest moon, which occurs at 4:13 a.m., Thursday, September 19th, Pacific time. The harvest moon is the full moon each year that occurs nearest to the fall equinox. And this year's fall equinox happens on Sunday afternoon. And I'll say a little bit about the fall equinox before we talk about the moon, because it's important this week. The equinox is a time every year. The fall equinox is a time when we re-emerge from the previous 6 months of personal and individual work into the realm of community. At the spring equinox in April, we begin a 6-month cycle of individuation and a return or re-exploration of our own individual path in the world. And then every year in September, we bring all of that new growth and those new discoveries and new expansions back to our community and to our groups of support so that we can expand our work in larger ways. And so the coming 6 months from fall equinox to spring equinox are a time of community, collaboration, group work, and expansion of our relationships, both personal and professional. So this week we are preparing for the equinox. We're integrating our gifts. We're using the tools of Virgo, the month of Virgo, the tools of integration and introspection and order to integrate the previous 6 months. This full moon on the eve of the equinox is known as the harvest moon because the illumination of the moon helps us harvest all of our gifts of the previous weeks and months. I am eager to share this spread with you. The specific astrology of this week's moon speaks of the importance of accessing all the gifts of our relationships, especially of the past weeks and months, and accessing gifts even from the challenges so that we're able to move forward with an awareness of our authentic relationships to others and our authentic relationship to ourselves. So the central card, knowing this, I asked for a spread that would help us access these potentials. And the central card in today's spread is the 9 of Swords, called cruelty. And this cruelty refers to the ways in which we are hard on ourselves and on others. So the central theme this week is an opportunity for us to examine those ways in which we may be holding resentments, disappointments, grief, despair even, in our relationships with self and others, and to realize the special opportunity this week to transform that energy into something that is empowering. The 9 of Swords represents the kind of working over of circumstances in the mind that tie us to the past and tie us to those disappointments that we carry forward. When we're hard on ourselves and hard on others, we diminish the possibilities. And I don't know if you can see in the card, but there are actually drops of blood dripping off of each of these swords, and that signifies the ways in which we harm ourselves when we hold these disappointments in our mind. So this is a time with a potential for releasing the energy that's held, the life force that's held within those disappointments. And when we do, we transform the 9 of Swords into a kind of deep wisdom and understanding of the nature of all relationships and the perfection of all that is. And so we're eager now to explore how we can access all the gifts of our relationship with self and others. The card to the left today in the position of body, the Prince of Wands, gives us our first clue, and that is to harness this energy. The Prince of Wands exemplifies pure determination and self-confidence and independence, and she's holding the tiger by the tail and swinging through the vortex of life, the momentum of the river and stream of life, with wild abandon, in the sense that she's trusting the flow of her own determination and confidence and inner willpower to harness life force. So this is a signal for you within the physical circumstances of your life, whether they're internal, your own body, circumstances of health or prosperity in your personal life, or within your circumstances in your external life, to harness the energy with determination. And then the card to the right signals the way to the focus for that determination, which is the Knight of Cups, which is the holder of the mastery. The Knight or King of Cups is the master of the emotional realm in the world, in relationship with self and others. And so this is a signal that when we are able to connect with our own guidance and higher self, that there is a quality of love and light that will bring a larger awareness to our circumstances this week and help us with a final piece of integration as we step forward on Sunday into the new season of fall. You may be able to see that the Nine of Swords here is flanked by fire on the left and water on the right. And this is also another kind of alchemy that's happening right now, of bringing together the fire of the summer and the water or the inner work of the winter as we step into fall. So we're at a powerful place of integrating the gifts of the previous weeks and months in order to move forward with a focus on how we can accept the perfection of all that is and anchor appreciation for all of our relationships. I drew a final card asking if there was any more guidance, and the message is really strong because the fourth card I drew was the Hermit. And the Hermit is the 9. So the 9 of Swords is one of the aspects of the Hermit. The Hermit is the wise one, the card of wisdom, and the card that represents you and your higher self on your own path of wisdom in the world. The Hermit is the card for Virgo. So I laughed when I turned the card because we're in our final days of Virgo now, and this is a very strong message that there is a lot of power in the coming days and in the illumination of the moon for you to access the gifts of the last 6 months, celebrate them, and pay attention especially to the challenges that you've had, and look underneath the challenge for the gifts that you have received in confidence, empowerment, and even in those challenges that aren't resolved, the ways in which you can access your own inner authority now to know that you will have the tools you need to carry forward in the days and weeks to come. This is a beautiful reminder of the power of the threshold we were about to cross and the gifts that the full moon is bringing us in order to prepare. So I welcome each of you to a celebration of our full moon this week, our harvest moon, where we harvest all the gifts that we have received and celebrate our hard work and our new abilities and our new awarenesses that we are bringing to our community now as we move into fall. This is Elizabeth Shermer, and I wish all of you a beautiful full moon and a really abundant, happy fall full of joy and love and light.